Good morning, everyone. It is Monday, actually Tuesday, July 28th, 2026. New day, fresh start. Welcome to the morning game plan. Every morning we come in with the same goal: build the structure before the opens, identify the important levels, and understand what the market is trying to do before money gets involved. All right, we trade live, we break down the market in real time, and we focus on the decisions that lead to consistency. No chasing, no forcing trades. All our trades follow a logic plan so that we can repeat what works. Structure first, execution second. All right, Mike, let's dial in here. You quickly see, I just want to get into the live market. I'm a little bit late, but you can see here already that we have quite the liquidation break here happening. And yep, let's get that mic up. Things are moving quickly. All right. We just came down and tested 74.23 quarter. All right. We just came down and tested 74. All right. Hang tight. Just getting my ducks in a row here. Market's moving pretty quickly here. The market is moving out on us. And what I want to do here immediately is I want to focus in on my trade plan, right? Because this is the same thing we saw yesterday. We had the same type of strong liquidation break to the downside, and then after that, oh wait, this thing just triggered something. I don't want to do that. Okay, all right. Let's get switched out here. I want to get into this chart. I want to see what's happening here, and I want to check my trade plan. Right. All right. Let's see. So I'm coming into a support down at 74.02 and 73.82. So yeah, so that gives me a minute to breathe here. It gives me a minute to kind of catch up. Sorry, I'm late this morning. Yeah, so sorry, just quick programming note. I am going to be going live every morning in the morning on socials, and then after the morning session, I'll be live in the Manny room at Mr. You can follow the link in the description. Let me make sure that that's posted for you here. Hang on one second. Okay, let me just get that posted in here for you guys. Make sure that that is posted. Hey, good morning, apprentice. Yeah, so we got this we have this strong liquidation break. I'm just trying to get my duck. Okay, thanks, Terry. All right, cool. Yeah, so let's see what we have here. Late start this morning. Tomorrow I'll be able to jump in and do the update and do the pre-market analysis. But I had a meeting that I had to attend, and the only time we could get it in was at 9 a.m. So yeah, that kind of pushed things back a little bit, but fortunately we're here And let me see. What do I want to see here? Gosh, I feel like I'm a little bit lost. Okay. Okay, let me just make sure I have that algorithm on. All right, so Apprentice, we know that Terry, we know that we're coming down into a couple of support buys. Yep, we looked below the overnight low. Yep. Gosh, I'm so off here. This thing is running slow too. Just make sure I have this all set up. All right, let's see what we got. What do we have here? All right, we look below the overnight low and we're ripping, man. Oh, look at this. Oh gosh, man. I hope you caught it. I hope you caught it. It is. Oh, I wanted that trade so badly. Oh, man, where am I going to catch this now? 74.19. Jesus Christ. Oh, brutal. Brutal. One thing that, so one thing about that is that, for sure, I don't, I used to get FOMO. I used to chase things. That doesn't happen to me anymore because I just know that price is going to move. I know we're going to oscillate. I know we're going to have rotations. So I look at it like this. It's like, all right, I feel confident enough that I can trade any market. Like, of course, I have days that I'm completely dialed in and I get good trades. Right. But there are days that I am not and I'm late to the game and I can't afford to chase things. But I also know that I'm going to be able to catch a move if I maintain my composure. And that's the most important thing. Don't force trades. All right, guys, don't force any trades. Stay confident. We know that every day. So what are the probabilities of us having, look at it this way, what are the probabilities of us having a trend day that price is just moving in one direction? That is not the norm. That is the exception. Okay, so then we apply that logic and we think, okay, so if we miss a trade, it's okay. What we cannot do is become impatient and start chasing moves. What we have to do is just remain patient, allow these bars to print. And typically what happens is our read gets better and we can execute from a better mindset. One of the fastest ways to lose money is using the wrong playbook on the wrong day.
First pullback, take trade.
So I want to get my SPYGATE up here because SPYGATE matters. SPYGATE is a great tool. We just got that pullback. All right, let's see where we're pulling back to. At what point do I? At what point? All right, liquidation break, right? Let's just walk through this. Let me just blow it out. Hang on, I'm replying to a message here. Okay, so we look below the overnight low. We tagged yesterday's low. What's our low today? 74.17. Gosh, look at that support right there. 74. That's 73.75. SPX. Okay. Let's see. Came right back down and tested. We went as low as what? 74.26. All right. Let's take a look here. Okay. Let me take a look here. Okay. All right. All right, so let's let this balance happen. So here's what I'm looking for now. Okay, so we know we had this set up. We had the look below and fail set up from the market blueprint, right? So we had that. We got the look below, and now what? So now if this is true, if this setup is true here, right? then what would be the next expectations? Well, we shouldn't come back in and eat this wick. And we likely do something like this. We had to look below. We'd likely do something like this where we balance and then start moving to the upside. So right now, 74.25 was that balance low. I want to try to get in anywhere close to that and probe it, right? Make sure I have the right stuff here set up. Okay. I'm going to try it here. I'm going to try to get a fill in at 74.28. Gosh, I took 74. Man, I got 74.31. I'm not happy about it. I probably won't hold on to this. Okay. Thanks for the heads up on that setup, Terry. Yeah. So what I'm looking for is that balance if this balance to form, right? Let this balance form. And by the way, I took a 74.31 right here in this range, but I don't like it because it could come down to 28 and still be right, or then I'm going to get flushed. So I'm just peeled it off at 29.50. I just clicked close. I think I got out just below 30. So I think I lost a point. I lost $62, point and a half. But here's the test, right? Let's see what happens on here. 74.23 around there. 74.23, right? We should not eat this tail. Let's take a look at this. I want to look at this. Where's that? Okay, 74.23. I like 23 and 21 here if I can get it. And then with a nice delta divergence, that would be cool. All right, our internals are mixed. NASDAQ is so hey, heads up here, right? The NASDAQ is coming in pretty hard. Let's see, it already ate its wick. So let's see if ES firms up here. Let me just take a look at the weighted AD as well. Okay, yeah, that's negative. So that's not a good sign, guys. Trade's a trade. That's a border stroke. I'm going to try these 26s here, 27s. See if we can get something to stick here. No. It's going to get choppy. We're going to have to hold it. We're going to have to be patient here. And, 20, I just peeled those off at 26.50, minus 2 ticks. What I don't like about it here is what I'm seeing in the order flow. I'm monitoring the order flow very closely here. I can always add them above 28, but what I don't like, what is that? Yeah, that's 28, 29. I'm out of them because what I'm seeing here is that every time and each spike higher, it's being sold into. It's just, and the sells are more aggressive than the buys. That's the point. So maybe down there at 23. down about 6 ticks on the day. Key is, look, guys, this is it's very important that we understand the market that we are in. Okay, we are in. Look at this chart. This is a regular trading hours only 4-hour chart of the ES. We are dead in the center of the larger balance. Okay, we need to lose 74.12 as I put in the plan. If we lose 74 to 7,400, 7,425, let's call it, right? We need to paint it broadly, and that becomes something to trade, and that becomes a shift, right? But we have been getting lower highs. I'm glad I exited that trade. It's just too early in that balance. So what have we been getting, right? So since we've put the all-time high in, lower high again, lower high, lower high, lower high. And so for those of you that are following me on Substack, you should, I noticed something. I was traveling over the weekend. I got in late. I jumped right on stream yesterday, and then I had to do something with my kids. So I got to bed late, and I was just so exhausted, right? But then I woke up super early this morning because I just kind of felt behind. And so I started working on the charts and looking at, and I really enjoy Sundays because that's the day. Hang on. Okay, here's the 23s again. Let's just look at that again here. Yep, I got them. I got 23 quarter. I'm gonna add 25. Oh man, guys, that ballooned on me pretty quickly. I've got 26 average, but my ad was really horrible. My ad was really horrible. My ad was really horrible there, guys. Oh my god. I think my ad was like it spiked on me, went up to like 28. But let's see if we get it. Let's see if we have it. We're looking for 36.
First pullback, take trade.
And then test at the high. 36. Now, what do we need? What's the need now here on this? If you're getting in, you still have a good shot here. If you didn't catch it, if you didn't go in short with some micros, or not short trading, but going small, I mean with some micros, and try that. Okay, it's coming right back in. There you go. You can grab those 30s or something. Just try to stay alert here. Stay focused. What we need, the first need is that 36 area. That's why I'm trying to cover into it. Maybe I'm a little bit too high. But if the expectation is that we rotate higher, then we should get up here and try to at least get to VWAP 38. But this is too high. I'm going to lower this down to 35 or something, if that's even going to be possible. You see, look, they're just coming in at 74.33 down to 74.32. They hit every tick pretty hard, hundreds. Then on the way going up, they're lifting off. Okay, here we go. We're getting up there. Let's just see if we can get that first fill. Come on, baby, fill me. Nope. No love. No luck. Let's take a look at the 15 minutes, see what that's doing. Yeah, we should get up there. We should get up there now. I'm expecting a fill at 35. I don't know if I get the 46s for the 20, but that's the target. Developing value area high. You know, and I think the key takeaway, team, is that we are in we are in this. Let me just get that chart up so I can give you a better look, right? So let me just put the 24-hour chart on and just go through this, right? So we're in this larger balance, right? You can see I have this tool here that's kind of mapping out what the balance is and from when we got here. So basically the low being 72.32, the high being 76.48, and we are dead in the center of that. Right, so we're not only are we dead in the center, we're within a micro balance within the larger. It's like a smaller balance nested within the larger balance. Okay, and so this is chop city. I mean, there's no directional movement here. What you want to do is fade the extremes, right? So price dips like what we're doing right now. We're trying to catch that look below and fail setup, try to get us back to the middle of that range. Okay, but until we get either above 75.25 or get below that 7,400 to 74, really it's 7,400 to 74.15. Let's see. No, it's 25, 74.25 to 7,400. We're just in balance. We're just in balance. So it's important always to let's watch the morning. Let's watch how, because in the morning we're going to be able to get a good idea for what the market is going to do. Okay, so what do I mean by that is if today was going to be a big liquidation break but below 7,400, right? Would the market, would the ES
Target fill.
All right, got that first target. I got that first target, team. Let me just get this chart down. Dang it, I missed it. All right, got the first target at 74.35, and that is a 7-point gain. So plus 7 points on the first one. Happy about that. Those really play well on the playbacks. All right, so look, guys, here we go. We're working our way back up. So again, we're in the micro balance. Does everyone understand why we're getting long down here? Thanks, Apprentice. Thank you, Terry. Yep. Okay, let me just get this down here. So here we just came back up and tested that 74.39. And then I don't really see, I told you that the ad was so horrible on this. Look, oh my God. This is, I mean, that's what I get, right? I tried to get in, I tried to capture something. I went, I'm gonna have to take this off here. Let's see if it stabilizes. What am I looking at here? Let's see. No, don't want to do that. Yeah, I want to hold this here. I want to hold it. Do I want to add to it? I'm going to add one, and I'm going to give it a tight 3-point risk. Just below that pivot. Just below that pivot. So what I want to be careful of here is that wick, right? If we're going to work our way higher, we should start very, very soon here and not test down into 22s or even, yeah, and it looks like, I mean, if we're going to trap them, we got to get going here. All right, good. All right, everybody see that? Take a look at the 15-minute chart. Yeah, you see, we came right to the double top. That's a tweezer top right there on the 15-minute. There we go. Got the target. I keep. All right, let me leave it on this screen. I got that. I got that target. That was a 5-point target on the 28s at 32 or 34, I believe it was. But now I just have the one I added it back, and now I'm just looking to see if I can hold on to this. I really don't want to see this get below 24. Okay. And yeah, you see, so now what I'm picking up on here, team, is that we're double wicking, right? That 15-minute tweezer top could be the top here. So I'm going to let's just see. This is it. I mean, this is do or die right here. I probably should add one here because it's just so close to my exit. Watch the delta. Okay. Again, just scalping these long, scalping these as best I can, trying to play off of that look below and fail. Oh, I added two. That I didn't want that. All right. Well, I gotta peel them off. That's too large a size on this for July. Dang it! I'm gonna get stuck on these. All right, I'm out. That was not what I wanted. All right, so it's coming back in really quick. I'm just jumping into stop loss protocol for myself, guys. I don't like the way that worked out for me again, and I just want to stick to the plan. Of course, obviously that's not the outcome that I wanted, but more importantly, it's about how that made me feel. I'm disappointed that I double clicked on it. So here's what's happening, just as a heads up, on my computer, because I'm running the stream now. Typically when I stream on this computer here, if you can see it. But now, since I'm running the pit on that one, I can't have to run this stream here. So, yep, that's what's going on here. Real quick, 2-minute break. Be right back. All right, I'm back, guys. No harm, no foul. You get them. So more importantly now, what we have, let me just look at the high. Yeah, no, that's not it. That's not it. What are we gonna do here? Guys are gonna get trapped. Look, the one thing I want to point out is that today is not about calling or trying to trade the breakout that I mentioned earlier. It is just simply about recognizing that we're still inside of this balance area. All right, that's the most important thing. Trade it tactfully. Look, it's moving right back up again, and we have good oscillator movement here. So I'm willing to try it again. Where am I? 25 is not the way. It is not the way. With a 3-point stop, like, you can't do that here, man. You're just going to be toast. It is not the way. Here's another thing that I like to share with you guys. So, like, I've one of the things. So I started streaming, I think, about 3 or 4 months ago, and part of being able to trade live in front of someone, like I was told by another friend who streams, right? And he told me, he said, hey, listen, being able to trade in front of somebody, because I had trepidations about it at the beginning. I just didn't know if I could do it, both from just from a personal standpoint, you're just putting yourself out there, but also from a standpoint of being able to execute. And then one of the byproducts that came of that was that I just started trading smaller. Right. I say, all right, so if I'm going to do it, I'll just trade smaller until I can get comfortable with it. And then what happened was, like, I got comfortable with trading in front of, for the world to see, for lack of a better term. But, and that was directly correlated to the size I trade. And a byproduct of that was that I was way more at ease with trading. I was way more comfortable with it, um, and I kind of like it because previously, before streaming, I was typically in the four to eight contract range. Pretty much, I remember, I remember thinking and saying to myself, "Hey, if I can't go with two contracts, it doesn't make sense to go in, right?" Because I wanted to always have the ability to scale. I want to have the ability to scale out of the trade. Let me just see the 15-minute here on this. Okay, that's what I thought. We did this large wick, and those lows were holding. So what is this low here? 74.20. That's where my stop has got to be. It's got to be below there. It's got to be like 74.19 or something. At least 19s, right? So what is that? That's like an 8-point risk. So anyhow, back to what I was mentioning. One of the byproducts of that was that I went smaller. When your normal size of going in is two contracts and you're going in with one contract. Initially, when I started, I was trading micros, but when you're used to going in, like two, and then adding once your first add, you're at four. It kind of it feels lighter. That's all. It doesn't feel as heavy because the losses are just they're diluted. I want to take a look at this tick chart here. I'm going to auto zoom this, and then I want to bring this back. Okay, what are our ticks doing for the day? What's the VIX doing? Just looking up, I have a monitor up here that has it has about 16 different charts, just like a quote board, really. But it has it has 20 charts on it. But just different things that I look at, kind of rotate back and forth on. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and peel this, guys. It looks like we couldn't get into that wick. And I'm done trying this one. So I'm out. Gets below that 19, I'm gone. My stop is like 1875. Oh, look at that. Stick save. Oh, I have a little chart up on this monitor. Stick save. Stick save. Okay. Ooh. I dodged the Hellcat. All right, let's get going now. You gotta make up some here. Gotta make something up here.
First pullback, take trade.
Okay. Nope, right back down again. Oh yeah. I peeled that one off from minus 2. Just want to lighten it up. Let me just take a look at the broader, like what is the weighted AD doing? What's the bigger market doing? Look at it's negative. No wonder we're struggling to get up. So yeah, this thing may not, I don't know. I admittedly don't know. Let me take a look at something else here. AD, the tick, CL. AD is trending higher. It's trending higher here, but the weighted is down. I don't know. Still, the stop hasn't got hit yet, but it's not looking great, guys. I have the one encouragement that I do have is that the high of the day does not look good. So one thing I want to drive home is we have to know the market that we're trading, right? I mean, this market is in balance. We saw that on the higher time frame. Okay, look, nice. Got some follow through here, team. Got some follow through. Nice. I'm excited about that. Let's just get the 37 scale in here. Exit here for 10 points. See if we can get lucky and get it. Still hunting down that first good trade for the day, that first 10-pointer. It's been elusive. It's been getting away from me all morning. Semiconductors. Oh, thanks, Terry. So hey, that's a big deal. That is a big deal. So I'm not sure if you guys follow semis, but I was looking at this the other day, and gosh, perhaps this chart has too much on it. I'm watching that. I have one eye on it, but if you look at semis on the, like I was looking at these semis on the monthly. Look at this. Look at the monthly for just for July, just for July. So we had this big extension higher. Let's drill down into the weekly. An eye on the ES here. I didn't get that 37 target, missed it by a tick. That low volume note at 37.50, it peeled off. It got close and then it pulled back. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a scale here for just let's see. What time is it? 10:25. Let me get off this semi chart. I'll come back to this later. All right, letting this work. Really no reason to touch it yet. Going to go ahead and take that 5-point scale right here. Oh man, that was elusive. Yeah, we have lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. And I think that's going to be the trap, though. You know how ES does, right? It loves to trap folks. All right, coming in there, got 7 points on it, or 6.75, just about 7 points. But I had to take some of it off. It just made sense. It just made sense, guys. All right. So if you're in this with me, just be patient. Keep your stop. Remember, if it shouldn't go down here, it might look like it's a dumpster fire on the way down, but we have to put our big boy pants on and honor the stop. Okay. I think we can go higher here, guys. I think we can squeeze higher. It held. Let me see. I want to remove that. I want to get back into the chart, right? So look at where. So here's my reasoning, right? So we've been building this balance here for 2 days. Maybe it does break. I don't know, but I mean, just thinking out loud here, we've been in this balance. Are there more longs or shorts in here? Shorts are trying to press it lower. Shorts are pressing. In here, after this move lower, they're getting short in here, looking for lower prices. They got squeezed out. These guys are still good. Anybody that shorted from here and here has been good. They're not out yet. But everybody in here that's short is looking for low. It got squeezed out on this move. Right? Then squeeze ended and it put in a lower high. Couldn't get any traction to the upside. And now once again, we are what? Balancing at the low. So what it would, the expectation is that we'd probably squeeze higher. Again, that's just really daytime frame micro look. Okay, that's the 2 hour. Let's take a look at the 30-minute. Yeah, look at that. So there are a lot of trap shorts down here from these moves. So that's the way I see it. Let me just take a look at the chart. So that's the way that's one of the ways. If you guys follow me for a while, if you follow the market blueprint, it's on Substack. But one of the ways that I look at the market is not really is always from a liquidity standpoint and what can the market not do. Okay, and so if we're looking at it just broadly on this time frame, right? Okay, so just we can basically assess that. Okay, so we had the lower move, right? If the only shorts that are in this are shorts from here and shorts from here. Anybody that got short in this balance got taken out on this move higher. So then it rolled over. Everyone that thought they were right in this move here resold it here and is reselling it here. And if they were right, what would be the expectation? Well, the expectation, the way I'm looking at it is that we either break lower very soon, right? Do something like this. Let me just fix this. I'm watching ES2 like a hog. Just pull back, nasty pullback there. So the if these traders are right, we're gonna go this, we're gonna go here, and we're gonna go lower. But we've been down here for 2 days. So how are they feeling? How are all these shorts feeling? Looking for this leg lower, how are they feeling? They're not very comfortable, right? They just saw the spike. Now their stops are above there. Maybe their stops were above here. So where's the liquidity? Like, we know we have a ton of liquidity down here. But again, the reason why liquidity breaks lower the reason why squeezes tend to happen to the upside more often is simply because the market is, bigger. Think from a bigger institutional perspective, they are going to be more long than they are going to be net short. They have, retirement funds and things of that nature. So they've got to hold the prices up. So unless this move proves itself and it breaks, and it will, eventually it will, and we'll break it. We'll trade it. We'll get it short under here. But until then, I'm a buyer in this zone. I'm a buyer looking for all these nervous Nellies to get squeezed out. Right? Looking for all these guys to get squeezed out. We'll see. I mean, I could be wrong. It's not a question of right or wrong. It's just a question of how quickly you adjust. All right, let's go back to the trade chart. I think it kind of makes sense there. Let's see, 26, 36, 41, 41 quarter. See if they squeeze them out. Tons of wicks on the upside, right? They're trying to push it lower. The more they try to push it lower, Again, it doesn't work the same way on the downside. But if it breaks, and eventually it will give way. Until then, I tend to be on the long side because I just have more success on that side. All right. Come on, give me that follow through. Let's go. Give me that follow through. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Again, balance is a market condition. It's not a mistake. It's not something to be judged. When the market is in balance, both buyers and sellers are finding value. It's our job to fade those extremes and play like the market makers, guys. Think like a dealer. Hey, the market is not going to break out of balance, right? That's what we want to do. That's why price keeps rotating back and forth instead of trending cleanly, because they're just holding price in that balance area. Perhaps it's the larger distribution. Who knows? The last distribution, I'm going to put together an analysis on that and get it out this week on the larger trend. But the last distribution took 6 months. I'll show it to you. Take a look at a clean daily chart, right? But look at this distribution, guys. This thing never really broke cleanly. They were just getting out of their positions in a very methodical way. So now we just have a simple repeat of that balance, of that condition. Larger balance. Fade the balance edge. So just look at this chart, right? So what should we be doing in here? Should we be selling this? Look at this clearly defined edge. I don't want to be a seller down here. Not yet anyway. That would be predicting the next move. And I guess to a certain degree, we always have to predict, right? But if you expect trend behavior inside of a balance, you'll probably end up frustrated. The most important thing about balance is balance rewards patience. That's for sure. Okay, getting that move higher here. Getting that move higher, guys. Getting that move higher for the 15-point fill. I'm offered at 74. Let's see, 74, 41.50 for the 15-point gain. See if we can get it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Got it. Yes. All right. All right. So left with the last ad at 74.28. Again, I'm going to lock this in terms of remove the risk from the trade, and now I am trailing this move higher. I hope you guys got a piece of this with me. It got kind of funky down there. This was a trade that I had to try more than once. And another thing one thing that I hope you guys were able to witness today and take out of today's stream is how I was trying to trade and how I was trying to keep my losses very small. And yes, there was that one that got me uncomfortable because I added too much on it. But the first few tries, I got 5 points, but I got 5 points on one, and then two other ones that failed. One was a 4-tick loss. The other one was a 2-tick loss. Okay, so the idea there is it doesn't matter if a trade takes you more than once if you manage the risk in a very prudent way. All right, now we're looking for that squeeze move higher. Everybody that was shorting in here off of this liquidation break, right? And then, bought the look below. Some people bought the look below, right? It came back in on them, and I'm sure that they covered somewhere, got stopped out somewhere in here. Hopefully, but I mean, not hopefully not. Hopefully they held their position, because that's a brutal day. But You can see and then these wicks are giving you these wicks are giving you a read, but the broader context doesn't align. So these selling wicks into a higher time frame balance area below, these are the guys trying to push it, and then what they're looking for is that extension lower. What we are trading their failure. So we're buying it right here along the edge, and we're looking for that move higher. I hope that makes sense. Keep your losses small. I took that. I think I was a 3 or 4 point loss. I didn't look. Why look at that, right? I don't want to look at a trade that didn't work. I don't want to overanalyze that. But screw that.
First pullback, take
All right.
trade.
What did we hit here? 74.44. Now I'm going to go to my trade plan. So our first level of where we're going to run into problems here, Terry, is going to be at 74.57, 74.62 up here. It's going to be this band right here. 74.57, 74.62. Right in this area here, we're going to run into trouble. So hold them if you can. It may not work. Yep, getting that extension higher. Nice move higher here. Okay, nice. Super happy about that. Very, very nice. Let's see if they start squeezing. Okay, getting that extension higher here, you guys. Getting that extension move higher. Nice extension here. Thanks. Oh yeah, thanks. Oh, come on. Let's go. Nice recovery. Okay, cool. We're moving higher here. We're moving higher. Yep. Okay. We got about 11 points in this trade, and let's see if we can get another entry. Let's see if we can stalk another entry here. Now that we pretty much got the squeeze read right. Getting that extension move higher here. There we go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. All right, coming into yesterday's volume point of control here. Pretty sure it was the regular trading hour session. Okay. Nice. Let's go. Very nice. Getting that nice extension move higher here, guys. Hopefully you guys are in this with me. Let me know, sound off if you are. Nice move higher. Let's go. All right, coming into that area where I highlighted earlier that we might run into some problems. So I want to go ahead and start thinking about how I'm going to exit this. I need my exit to make sense. Okay, I want my exit to make sense. I want it to follow a logic chain, right? So I want to make sure that I'm exiting not just because because of what some numbers on the screen. I want to make sure that I'm exiting like in high ticks. I want to make sure that there's a reason for me to exit the trade, not just because I'm at a resistance point. And hopefully that makes sense.
That we have, right? The only indicator we have was price
so when
action.
You look at,
and really the best indicator
look at how these
that
balances form
is knowledge. Some knowledge.
The funny thing about them is that
price action. It's not the indicator.
This is where what I would call the balance,
knowledge.
Right? We made
That's
this
your best edge. So,
sort of double top, matching high rejection. Boom.
Right. We do actually have
and then
on the website,
we never could put in
and again,
a lower
you guys
low
haven't
off of this.
visited the
higher lows.
in
Basically,
quite some time.
You get this box that's formed around this big congestion area.
Time to do
and
that.
This is often the indicator that you get, right? Is you get the move higher.
Okay. Identifying
this retest of the moving average. I mean, that was perfect, right? Like obviously it came through it.
This is in the website, on the members area.
Right, but if you're buying the
identifying non-trend days
average and your stop is below here,
I go through an explanation. Kind of an old explanation.
Obviously this one worked as well, and even
you
better.
Can see,
because
some of
it
the
then
things that
blasted right through.
Back in the day.
And the reason it's blasting through,
I don't necessarily have all these indicators like I
we
did
made another perfect
you can still see the
rejection
nature
here of this level,
what that's about.
Which then trapped all the other shorts. Like people like me that were just being
all right, you know,
little
non-trend
Oh,
day.
great.
You went
Nice to
one,
hear.
two,
Thank you.
three,
Oh,
four,
perfect, Terry.
five,
No,
trading
no,
some
all
shares.
good.
So,
All good.
bearish, not noticing what's happening over here on the Nvidia side.
okay, I got some, you know,
Nvidia
non-trend day
now could go
trading
I'm glad you
rules.
got it, Terry.
easily back up through 200.
Okay,
200
identifying trend days.
Most
or a
importantly
lot higher
than
than
everything
that.
else
All
is,
this is
you know,
in
I'm hope
the
nothing would make me happier than everyone making money. I mean, that is literally why I do this. And so I always tell people, if you're having a problem, let me know. I can help you out. Because coming into this, right before I started streaming, it started a decade ago, and I remember I had joined a chat room. Listen to this story. Joined the chat room, and it was a nefarious chat room. It completely sucked. Like, it was a signal calling service, and somehow you never could get in. When they got in, and they were like the epitome of charlatans, right? So you can never get in when they got in, and they always posted their winners after like the trade was already, you know, while they were exiting. And I remember that I canceled my subscription there. And when I canceled my subscription, they kept billing me. And I called them and I told them, I said, hey, I've canceled twice already. I don't want to be charged again. They billed me again. And then when I asked for a refund, they wouldn't give it to me. And I felt so rotten, because I remember I was losing money and I thought I would never get it right. And I remember, like, you know, in deep down inside, in the depths of despair, I told myself, if I ever figure this shit out, I'm going to help somebody, and I'm going to do the opposite of what those guys did. And so I've been trading, you know, in the Mr. Top Step orbit since I came back to Mr. Top Step in chat room in like 2020, just after COVID, 2021. And, you know, I was just trading in there, doing my thing, you know, posting my trades, posting my ideas, posting my plan. And then we started to put Pitbull traders together a few years back. And I thought that was streaming was not a part of that. But I thought, you know, if I know I can trade well enough. I'm helping people all day long on DMs and sidebars. And I thought, if I could, I would only do it if I thought I could add value to other people's trading and really help them out. And then that's when, you know, David told me, he said, hey, you know, you're a good trader in the room. You know, you have no problem. You know, you'll be able to trade live. Just stick to your plan, find your voice. And so that's what I hope to do here. And it means a lot to me that I'm able to help folks. Having a plan is a very important. It's very, very important. All right, so we're coming into the back half of the. So now we're at that zone, right, Terry? So we're right at this zone, right? So we have time and price staring at us. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get out of this trade now. I'm seeing that we're losing some momentum. So my exit is I'm going to stalk an exit here, and I'm going to try to get the best fill, because it just makes sense to me now. You know, maybe that's a little bit too late, but again, if you're trading right, you know, 1 or 2 points does not, you know, should not phase you. I expect us to do something like this at these highs. You know, I don't expect us to come straight back down. I expect this to go like this a little bit. So I'm going to try to exit up here somewhere like 74.50. I'm going to try to exit. So the idea here, that I'm trying to convey is that I'm expecting a balance in this upper zone, right in this area, because I have a level here. I know that from the market blueprint, from my trade plan. My trade plan tells me that this is a level. I also have time is against me here. So let's see if I can get a favorable fill here. Now, if this pivot holds true, I'm going to trail it up. I'm going to go ahead and lock in 15 points. Tick ticks are going low now. So our ticks are moving lower. I'm expecting those low ticks to get me to my exit. We have 2 minutes left on this 5-minute bar. I'm looking for the next 5-minute bar to print this way, somewhere in here. And what I don't want to do is get knocked out on a wick down here somewhere, and then just watch it come back and test this balance high again. So let's see if I can get that exit. Getting better exits is something that is an area that I want to improve on. They're very hard. And I think that exits matter more than entries. Oh, really, Terry? All right. So that's good to know. Thanks for asking. Good. All right. So Terry. Yeah. So that's important because the execution clock is, in my opinion, I can't trade without it. It is very important. So again, I've been saying I have a workshop going for it. I just came back from all right, I'm out of that trade. Plus 15 points on the trade. Plus 15 points on that trade. Not the ideal exit. Be honest, not the ideal exit, but it's fine. Whatever. Probably. Look, it's probably going to go trade back up right now. That's what I was looking for, like this like little scout move higher for the exit. But and exactly where I said I didn't want to get nicked, I got nicked. Sorry, I was looking away. So yeah, so Terry, thanks for letting me know about that, because I think that the execution clock is another trader that uses it, and before I was, he puts out his own newsletter, and he was telling me that I could probably put out the execution clock separate. I said, no, I'm just going to include it. And one of the things, the execution clock, essentially I think it holds great value. And what it does is, I just scalped this long here for a couple of points. And what the execution clock does is it gives us the time-based pivots on when we expect the market to turn. And so, like, let's look at today, right? If you pull it up today, right, we're expecting a high. Let me just get out of this. I got 2 points out of it. Okay. All right. Oh, no. Got me short. I want that. Okay. All right. So I'm expecting a high pivot. All right. So you know what we'll do, Terry? In fact, let's do this. Here's a better scenario that I can show you. Let me know if you're paying attention. I'll take a minute out to go over this with you if you have the time. I have a really, really easy way to go through this with you. I think it matters. I think this is very, very important. It's a big part of my work. I think it's the biggest edge, and not enough people know about it. And it's pure edge. I mean, there's nothing else. Again, I'm not trying to sell it. I'm just saying that there's nothing else like it out there. All right. So let's open up this chart. This is the chart that I use. So the execution clock operates on a rotational basis, okay? And what that means is it's a series here. Like, this is how I track the days. Let's just unpin this. But let me just show you this. Okay, these are. You see, it might look like gobbledygook to you right now, but I assure you it's going to start to make sense. Every day I track it, okay? All so let me turn this on. Let's highlight the regular trading hour session. So this day, Terry, was an S4H day. So I'm looking for a high pivot between 10 and 10:45. These yellow rectangles highlight the time window from 10 to 10:45. There should have been a pivot there. So you can see here we had a high. Then I'm expecting a low between 11 and 11:45. Here was our low pivot. This is 11. This would be the start of this is 11. The end of this box is 11:45. 12 to 1 o'clock, I'm expecting a high pivot. So what I'm expecting is price is going to rotate within that window. Does that make sense? Then we had the low pivot at 2 to 255. Now this day is so you can see we had a trend. We kind of had a, after the dip in the morning, we kind of just trended higher, but we had a high in the last hour. Okay, let me give you another example. Let me find another example. I'll go over a few days with you so you can kind of like get the gist of it. Okay, here's another day, right? So let's take a look at this day. Let me just go like this and trying to get the scaling like so that it looks better. So here is an S1H day. So we were looking for on that day. Remember, this always comes out pre-market before the market opens. This comes along with the market blueprint. Every subscriber receives this. So in the morning, we were expecting a high between 10 and 10:45. We got the high between 10 and 10:45. We're expecting a low between 11 and 12. Look at where our low came in. This is 11. This is 12. Then we were expecting a high between 2 and 2:55. This is 2 o'clock. This is 5. This is 2:55. We got the high pivot of the afternoon. We got the low pivot at lunch. We got the high pivot in the morning. Do you see how that works? I'll give you another example. Let's go through another example. Okay, let's take a look at this next day. So this day was an S4L day. This day we were expecting a low pivot between 10 and 10:45 and 10:55. So this here is 10. This here is 10:55. Look at where our low came in for the morning. Okay. Now we were expecting our next pivot, time-based pivot, is 11 to 11:45. Look at where our 11 o'clock is. This is where 11:45 is. Look at where the high came in. Our next pivot, 12 to 1 o'clock. 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. That's the window. Look at how it nailed the low of the day right there. That gives you the conviction. Yeah, so okay, great question. So high, low. All right, so how do I use it to trade? That's excellent, right? And this day is a good example, right? So we had the super strong liquidation break, right? So right here, right on this bounce at 10:20, you know that the strong move is if we still have a window left, right? We're still in the middle of that window, and you see this retracement of this strong move, right? So always time first. Always price first. But if you see this move lower, you know your window is still open. It gives you more conviction to either sell this retracement or sell the breakdown, because you know that you're still within the window to make a low pivot. Okay, so now you're coming into the back half of the window and you're exiting your trade, right? So you start thinking, okay, we have so the day looks like a trend day to the downside. What do I want to do? I want to be a seller into high pivots. Hey, time out. What is it? Okay. So I want to be a seller into these high pivots. We have a trend day. So this was a perfect opportunity on this retracement, right? We see this candle print, it gives you more conviction that, hey, yeah, we could probably go a little bit higher, but I'm expecting the market to turn here soon. Okay, so look, let's apply that to today, okay? Here's where the rubber meets the road. Let me go back. Hang on 1 second. I just lost connection. Okay. All right. So let's go. Let's talk Turkey, right? Let's talk about where the rubber meets the road. So today, hang on. Dang it. This thing got disconnected on me, guys. Hang on. I'll use the Thinkorswim. Well, no, I want to use this chart because this is the one I was trading on. All right, so let's take a look here, right? So this morning, so Terry, let's go look at today's plan, right? Look at setup number 4. So remember that when we were coming into when I was thinking about exiting the trade, do you remember that? I said, hey, I have time and I have a level. So our level was right here, 74.57 to 74.62, okay? So 74, let me just make sure I outline these correctly. Okay, 57 to 62. I'm going to give that a rectangle. I know on today's plan that we're expecting a pivot, right? A high pivot between 10. Again, Terry, this is why I was so convicted at taking the trade when we were at the low, right? Because I'm expecting a high pivot between the time that's on the plan. So we hit 10 to 10:45, and where were we trading? Now, there was the risk that this was the high, for sure. But we knew that from a higher time frame that we were at a higher time frame support. So I'm expecting on the higher time frame for price to move higher. I have a high base pivot, okay? And when I came up into this time frame, I said, hey, and look, we just did where did we just pivot? We just pivoted. I think I just missed it. Let me see. Okay? So look, I was expecting a high. I have a resistance point at 57 to 60 up here somewhere. I'm expecting a high pivot up here. I have a resistance point up here. And why is this thing so not following instructions? You see what it's doing? This is my resistance point. I also have a time-based window from 10 to 10 to 11 o'clock. So that's why I started exiting and thinking about an exit. So here's exactly how to trade it. So we're at a higher time frame support that we identified early in today's stream. That's down here. We're expecting, we had an overnight inventory liquidation break, and support just won't break. Everyone's thinking low, everyone's thinking shorter or lower because of this break. So we have context on our side. We have a resistance point and a time. I'm going to go ahead and take that trade off into that time-based pivot and into the resistance level. Yeah. Okay, good. So yeah, so we have the continuation long setting up, right? Let it, it's still a little bit, I mean, it might go, this thing looks very powerful. I don't know. I prefer to let it. So here's how I want to get it out. That's the next setup that I'm going to trade that one. Hopefully we can get it live. But here's what I want to see for that. You see how this is the first attempt up. Hang on. Why is this thing keep? It's the Ninja Trade is acting really squirrely. So what I want to see is I don't want to try to buy it on. You see how we just came up and you can see here from this low, like where we just printed these two big candles to get us up here. Well, I'm hoping we get a little bit more balance in here, and then get a little bit more balance. And then get the breakout so that we can gain more energy, we can gain more momentum. I want us to gain some steam before, because so this, you can see we have these two big prints. I mean, maybe we do go higher, right? But internals are mixed, and we've already come quite a bit. I mean, but it looks like right now, like it's going to go. I'd love it to see, there's two ways, there's no perfect way to do it. But we need to get above, gosh, this thing is not acting right. We need to get above 62. I want above 62. I want to see some, that's horrible. I want to see some strength and momentum. We're already seeing the first signs of that. Let it come up, let it oscillate a little bit, then maybe get in right around here. So look, I want to enter in on, like, we get a big print up here, breaks us out, right? I want the print that comes, the next print, the following print that comes back and tests this level, right? I want to see first a wick in here, however long it is. That's the wick I want to see. And then I'm looking for follow through on the very next 5-minute bar. I want to see follow through. Obviously, we want the best, but we're going to be taking our scales on any new high. Okay? I hope that makes sense. See what our ticks are. Okay, so look, also now I'm just taking a look around. You just hit that extreme tick. Let this work off a little bit. I mean, it might go. I mean, look, it's always comes down to the order flow for me. I'm going to watch the order flow. It's one of the reasons why it's so hard for me to trade live is because I enter off of my dome, off of what I'm seeing on my dome. Yeah. So Terry, what I'm asking myself right now is, this is 11 o'clock right here, right? Front end of the window. I'm asking myself, was that it? Was that the low? Well, I don't know. You know, it's hard to say, right? So but we know that between 11 and 11:45, we're gonna get a low. That could have been it. That could be it. That could have been it. Hard to say. In real time, it's not perfect. However, look at this. Think about it like this now, Terry. All right, so we know what the expectation is now, right? We have time and we have price. Not just, we don't only have a level that can potentially squeeze, but we also have a clock edge, right? So now price is coming up, right? If we happen to come down, so if we come down and we print a candle like this back into these support area, like back into this, sorry, let me just, if we come back into this area, it gives you more conviction, because you know that, hey, even if I get in early, you know, the next pivot is a high. I'm on the right track. I'm going in the right direction. Does that make sense? I mean, I think I missed it. Yep, continuation long right here. Gotta get that, gotta wait for that pullback, right? 11:20. Squeezing higher. We nailed that. We nailed that low though. How you like that, guys? We crushed that low though. Come on. Unfortunately, I think some people were getting short down there. It's tough. But hey, no worries. You guys are in good hands. We crushed that low. Let's watch it here. We'll get our entry. Just be patient. Those are some strong prints though. Especially, let me take a look at the internals. Oh, look at the flip too. Now we have a flip too. Okay, all systems go. We're good here. No, that's why we're squeezing higher. This thing's gonna go. It's gonna go. So here, another thing, Terry, I want to explain to you is that is also that, you know, we have a lot of time to the next pivot. So we can be patient here. We can wait for a lunchtime pullback. You know, let's wait. You know, we don't need to jump in right now. We know what direction we want to be in. We know the price. As long as we stay above it, anything comes back down to like that area, 57.62, our ear gets our attention. Let's just wait and be patient. Sorry. Another thing that you could do, right, is you can always scalp them, right? You can always like take little hits, like onesies and twosies, 1 or 2 points, 2 points on momentum, right? You take momentum scalps because you not against the train, always with the direction of the plan, direction of the edge. That's why preparation matters so much, because it makes everything, it makes the direction part easy, and all you have to do is then engage, right? So you can just engage and try to capture points and focus on the price action, focus on your entries, focus on your exits. And I'll tell you, this is having a trade plan matters so much. And nowadays, you could pick up the market blueprint for pennies, and you don't have to go at it yourself, but have something, right? Have something. I have in years past, I used to, even while I was drafting my own plan, and I've been drafting my plan for years. Even in years past, there were times where I would watch other people's plans. Like I wanted to learn more about my own plan and how I can improve. Were they seeing something I didn't? So the preparation is key. And when you think about it, especially when you're in the middle of a large balance like we were today. All right, looks like we're getting that little pullback now. Yeah, I try to keep them slow. I try to keep them small. I try to stay on top of it, and not. And most of that, Terry, is like I don't want to fall into my own head, right? I don't want to I'm not sure if you know. Have I shared with y'all? Do you guys know what stop loss protocol is? The tool stop loss protocol. I think I've shared it before. Let me just post it in the chat so you guys can have it for yourself. Okay. Oh, I have a banner for it. Let me run the banner. So stop loss protocol is this. So what I want to say about keeping my stops, how this correlates to keeping my stops small is, Terry, I don't want to have to go to stop loss protocol. So if I keep my losses short, small, 1, 2 points, 3 points, I'm okay with that. It doesn't bother me. I know that's a cost of doing business, right? I don't have to recover from that big loss. It doesn't affect me emotionally. It doesn't get into my head where I'm focusing on that and not focusing on the market in front of me. And so that's why that's how I got into the habit of keeping my losses super, super small, 1 to 2 points, couple of ticks max, test it, prove it, get in, get out, no thinking, because it keeps me very, very sharp. It keeps me engaged, and it helps me to avoid, those emotionally impacting occurrences in the market. Those occurrences that, just get under your collar. They happen to everybody. They happen to me. In fact, this morning I had one, right? I said, I think I'm in stop loss protocol, but I realized it didn't bother me that much, and I just came back. But typically, if I'm alone and that happens to me, I'm walking out of the office. I'm leaving 5-10 minutes, not looking at any charts. I'm just going to try to forget about what happened. I need to be sharp in order to execute. We're competing against some of the sharpest minds in the world. Hi, welcome, Rosemary. How do I subscribe to Pitbull Traders Live? Okay, hang on a second. I'll give you the link. Welcome, Rosemary. So, Rosemary, I just want to go through it with you. So this is, let me just get the link for you here. Rosemary, how did you find us? I'm curious. All right, we're getting a little bit of an extension higher. I'm just taking these short little scalps here. I'm not really expecting much out of this. Whoa, wrong account. Again, just scalping it for 2 and 3 points as it goes up in the direction of the move, following the plan. I haven't really gotten the pullback that I was looking for down to like that 62 area, but I'm fairly confident because I have my order flow read. So looking for a 3 and 4 point gain on this one. Okay, let me see. Hang on. Let's see. Okay, hang on, apprentice. Let me just look into that. Marlon handles that for me. Marlon's our developer, and I will get with him about that. But in the meantime, let's see. Is he subscribed on Substack? So Terry, he's trying to get in. He's trying to subscribe to the pit, to the Manny Trends Room, right? Okay. Okay, hang tight. Have him, okay. Okay, have him, here, I can get to it more quickly. Have him email me. There. For those of you that are just joining in, let me just explain, give you a little bit of a background. All right, got that target, guys. So +4 points on that one. +4 points. Now I'm just got the last little contract left. See if it breaks out higher. I'm not expecting much out of this one. It's just a small scalp. Small little scalp here, guys. Nothing serious. Not like us buying 74, 28. That was pretty cool this morning. We get back here. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I have this protected. I'm not expecting a breakout, so let's see. I have to dial in on this order flow. I'm watching the ticks here. Ticks are coming off a little bit. They're in favor of the position. However, I'm watching the delta closely here for a well-timed exit if I need to. Yeah, we're not going higher. All right, I'm out. I think I got 3 points on the last one. 3 points, I think. I'm not sure exactly what I got. Dang, I keep losing connection. Thanks. Yep, happy to help. Again, I want to welcome everyone who's just joining us for the first time. My name is Manny. I've been trading the ES futures for over 15 years. Every morning we go through this market together in real time. I come on before the open. We build out the structure before the open so that we know what the market is doing before we commit real capital, right? We build out the structure, we identify the important levels, and we understand the market, what the market is trying to tell us. I also put out a trade plan with high probability levels and what time to trade them on Substack. You can find that on my Substack page. It's running in the banner. Okay. One thing you'll hear me talk about a lot is, is trying to stay in alignment with the dominant forces. We don't try to predict the movement of what the tape is going to do. We just look at the higher time frame and we base our ideas and our directional bias from there. Also, we constantly reference the trade plan and go back to the trade plan and see what that is telling us to do. Each day on that trade plan, you're going to find anywhere between six and 9 high probability setups. And for example, last week, the market blueprint called within those setups was the high and the low of the day twice during the week. And as well as, those setups, I would, if I tracked how many points each setup gave me, I would be busy just doing that all day. But the setups are pretty good. You also hear me talk a lot about risk, keeping our risk small. So for instance, if you're just joining this morning, we were buyers down here. We were buyers at 74.25 to 74.30. Okay. And that position, so I tried the first time I tried it, I got 5 points on the first contract, and then the second one stopped out. It was a position that it was a trade that I had to try twice. And the reason why I took 2 losses on it, the first loss was 4 ticks, the second loss was 2 ticks. And then I thought I caught the breakout, and then I had a big loss of, relatively big loss of 3 points. Now, if you understand, if you've been following for a while, you'll understand how I trade. And typically my trade plan is designed around getting you the levels that are on there are only on there if they can get you 15 points. So typically the scaling on that trade plan is going to be 5 points on your first contract. My trading system is designed around 3 contracts. You get 5 points on your first, 10 on your second, 15 on your third. If you follow that trade plan, there's a 62% chance you're going to get to the 10 points. And so when I take a loss of 1 or 2 points, it's not out of, it's fine for me because my winners are, 5-1 to my losers. And that's the way you want to trade. That's what keeps the stress out of your life. So if you're new, don't feel the pressure to trade it just yet. Grab a notebook, ask questions in the chat, and focus on learning on how we think and how we approach the market. My goal isn't just to call trades, it's to teach you how to become independent so that one day you don't need my levels. So one day you can remember how you learned and execute on your own. Yep. Okay. Thanks, Terry. And I'll just let him know that I will get to that later this afternoon. I'm going to be on the stream for a bit longer, and then I have to probably be on for about another 45 minutes or so, 30 minutes or so. Yep. No worries. Take care. Oh, wow. Okay, great. All right, Terry, enjoy your afternoon then. Yep, go hit a pub. No worries. I'm glad you made some money today. Okay, got it, Steve. So yeah, just a heads up, I'm on every day. So up until about 3 weeks ago, I was streaming. I was streaming every day from February to I think on June 27th, I started to cut it back, and only because the summer was here and I was taking some time off from trading. So historically, there was a reason for that. Historically, July is my worst month. So coming into July, I made myself the promise last year that if I got into July and I had a good June, that I was going to dial it back during July. And so coming into this year, I took some time off in July. I cut back. I stopped streaming every day because I just wanted to spend some time with my family, and I wanted to honor that commitment to really getting better improvement. I really focus a lot of my trading on my monthly performance, but ultimately my yearly performance. And when I was looking at my statistics from last year, had I just took July off, I would have performed a lot better throughout the year. And so I wanted to honor that. I took some time off in July, and now I'm just getting back into the groove of things. Yesterday, I just got back into town yesterday morning, and so I streamed yesterday. But I am going to start streaming every day, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to about noon. And then at that point, I usually switch over to my private room and just run some education for the subscribers to the Market Blueprint, like Terry, and also it's a free room. You guys can come in and learn anything you want from there. I encourage you to do so. Ask a lot of questions. So after about noon, I usually knock off. I take about an hour or two for lunch, and then I come back in the afternoon. And there's a reason for that, because there's typically a really good setup in the afternoon. Usually there's a good setup around that 1:30 to 2:30 mark, and I like to capture that. And even more so, here's an important thing to know is often when I have a morning that I had a red morning, right? Like I just couldn't, my read was off, and it happens, right? Nobody's perfect and nobody gets it every day. Drawdowns are a real thing. It's how we handle those drawdowns that keep us in this game. When I have a red morning, I never stress it too much. I come back in the afternoon because so many times I've had a bad morning and I just call it about 11 o'clock, and then I come back in the afternoon and I either make it all back or just do really well into the afternoon. So, or at least get a portion of it back. I've just been scalping this long here. Hang tight. Gotta get something to drink. I had some questions here from I had some DMs, some questions here. I just realized it right now. Sorry guys, the same thing happened yesterday. I'm gonna get to those questions right now. Hang tight. I took that one. I'm going to take this one off. It reversed on me. It looks like it's getting tired here. Yep, I'll get to that question in just a second. Hang on. Give me a second. Yep, so I trade on NinjaTrader. I use NinjaTrader. I use Delta Trader as my backup. And I use Thinkorswim. Yeah, that's what I use. Yep, NT8. Yep, I love it. I've been using NinjaTrader. Gosh, you know, it's been a I actually had we had a meeting with NinjaTrader, and you know, I've been on NinjaTrader since they looked up my email address, and I've had the same Gmail address for a really long time, and they said that I first opened an account. I first downloaded their platform. I didn't know this, but I first downloaded their platform in 2008. So that makes me ancient. This page will not refresh for me. I don't know why. Maybe it's my PC or something. Hang on. I need to pay attention to where the just. Oh, I'm not even looking at this. Okay. Yep, I'm out. Didn't do what it was supposed to. I'm out. So I lost like 2 points on that one. No big deal. We had the earlier 20. I think it was 22 points. Or we'll get a winner. I have to get to these questions, and I'm trying to find them here. Just hang on. I'm having a problem refreshing this page, so just bear with me here. Hang tight, guys. I'm just trying to get to these questions here. Oh, look at that. It broke out. That's fine. That is fine. Hang with me. I'm just getting there right now. Hang tight, guys. We're just chopping around here at highs. Still just chopping around here at highs. All right. Yep. I don't know what happened. My looks seems like my browser got. I said, Manny, how do you know when balance is over? Okay, that's yep. So balance is over once we break out here. Let me show you. It's a good question.
ASM International sees their 2027 revenue exceeding the top
I
end
love the
of
questions,
their
by the way. Keep them
3.7
coming.
billion to 4.6 billion euro range.
So balance comes when we break out
ASM International
either to one
sees
side
their
or the other,
2027 revenue
right?
exceeding the top end of their range of 3.7 billion euros to 4.6 billion euros.
Yeah, so balance is going to happen. Balance when you break out of a balance. So here we had, so you can have you can have a micro balance, right? We just had a little mini micro balance right up here at the high, and now we're between 74.74 and 74.83, and now we're breaking out to the downside. Okay, you can also have a for lack of a better term, a macro balance, right? Where like you're on a higher time frame chart, like for instance, let's look at ES on a 4-hour or a 4-hour chart, and this was a balance area, right? So this here, I will highlight this is a balance. Okay, so how do you know when the balance is over? Once you break out of it. So right now we just broke out of that balance to the upside. Okay. And not just a regular break, right? If we would have broken out of that balance,
Just note
wick,
that a Newsmax
okay,
reporter
say we broke out and we formed a wick, formed a candle body, and then we had a long selling wick here, then that would be a rejection of the breakout. So that's something that we always want to be alert for. Okay. And then do you ever trade in the middle of the range? Yeah. So sometimes that's all we get, right? So that's when your plan really matters. You have to have a good plan in order to get to know where you should be trading within that balance, and also what's going to break you out, what conditions you want to see, and what is the context of the day or the market that you are trading. 74.82. Let's go. So right now I'm just going to go back to my trade plan. I'm going to reference it and see, do I have a resistance up here? And if I do, how do I, if there's another trade, which there's not for me because it's, now we're going into the midday doldrums. Thanks for the questions. I appreciate it. It definitely helps the day go by quicker.
And then go a lot.
I think I need to relaunch Ninja Trader here. It's acting really squirrely here.
Ukraine President Zelensky met with the Finnish President Stubb in the US. They discussed diplomacy and Patriot missiles.
All right, real quick bathroom break. I'll be right back. All right, getting that pull back here. We're just shopping around at highs. There's not much to see here. But right now what the market is doing is just building acceptance. And this is the time of the day where it really requires patience. I was willing. So as you saw, I'm not sure if you were there, but I was willing to scalp it earlier for smaller gains on the way up. Trying to look for capture the last bit of momentum in the move. But now that we move into lunch period, it's just going to get pretty dull. So it's just best to let things pan out. Wait for about the top half of the hour, about 1 p.m. and see what materializes. See what the 15-minute looks like. Just not much to go on here, guys. I think I'm on the precipice of wrapping it up for the day. Unless something materializes, just a good time to get lunch. Let me know if you have any questions. Working on some of these banners that I think might help us throughout the day, keep us dialed in. We're just getting some work done here. Okay, cool. Cool, Steve. Thanks for checking in. Appreciate your support. Yeah, we're pretty dead right now. The market's just oscillating back and forth, and I'm just creating some banners here so I can get some of these other concepts across a little bit better. But I'm in about 8 minutes. I'm going to knock off for lunch, and then I'm going to grab a bite to eat and then see if I return around 1:30. But I will update. Just look out for a post in Manny's room or in the pit room to see if that's going to happen. Now we just came back up. Now we're just forming this balance here at highs. And I think that the best trade is going to be, obviously on a sharp pullback, or if we can get any traction to the upside. Yeah, I'll get that sorted out for you. Steve, for sure. Yep. I'm on it right now. That's one of the things I'm going to do while I eat. Okay, cool. Thanks for checking in, Steve. Appreciate your support. Like I said, I've only got 8 more minutes left, and then I'm checking out. All right, cool. Thanks. See you tomorrow, Steve.
Be advised, according to 5 of Reuters sources, 3 Russian Black Sea grain export terminals have restricted their grain deliveries by truck amid rising shipping risks. Leavitt says Trump meetings were positive and productive. That's the US Press Secretary, Levitt. Trump meetings were positive and productive.
Okay, so I got all of those in. Check. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for me for today. Let me just put, I think I missed one question, but that person's gone. All right, guys, that's going to map it up for me for today. I just want to let you know, look, the market is not going to pay us for having the right opinion, or it pays us for executing correctly, executing well, and managing our risk, and also for recognizing what type of state we're in. I think we nailed that today, but we were getting low. We were getting long at the low down there, 74.25 to 74.30. Remember, for the rest of the day, go get some lunch, go step away, go touch some grass. And we'll be back at it tomorrow from 9 to 11 right here on the Manny Trends channel. See you then. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.